I love Rachel. I wish she was my wife.
I love Rachel. I wish she was my wife.
Oh, Dark Mother, once again I suckle at your smoky teat.
Oh, Dark Mother, once again I suckle at your smoky teat.
How would I describe Gunther? I would say Gunther is a nice guy. He's a very shy guy, inexperienced in the ways of love, but a good soul, a good heart deep down for everyone except Ross. So I think my favorite Gunther moment would be the one where Gunther speaks Dutch. And he has a confrontation with Ross.
Je spreekt Nederlands. Dat is te gek. Heb je familie daar?
Yeah, we're done.
Ezel.
Hazel.
And if you've seen the episode, Gunther calls Ross kind of a bad word in Dutch. And that made it onto, through the censors at that time. And I'm surprised it stayed in, but I just love that scene that they established, that Gunther actually spoke fluent Dutch. Another one of my favorite Gunther moments is when Phoebe was dating a gentleman who happened to be, shall we say, a little too much exposure. And Gunther is the only character who can say, hey buddy, this is a family place. Put the mouse back in the house.
Hey, buddy. This is a family place. Put the mouse back in the house.
I love that line. So there was an episode that I didn't quite get the joke at the time, but it made sense to me, once I got on the set, where Gunther doesn't know the difference between Chandler and Joey. Obviously, and this is like quite a few seasons in, and it's like, I thought you were Chandler. To Joey, of course.
Hey, Gunther, have you seen Chandler?
I thought you were Chandler.
Fans don't really quote specific Gunther lines back to me, but I often had people saying, hey, Gunther, make me a coffee. And I'm like, hey, dude, Gunther was a character that I played, but I'll make you a coffee, just to be nice. Oh, the hair. Yeah. A lot of people think that was my natural color and still was, and think that this is all dyed to, cover up the other stuff. But the bleached hair was basically an accident, a very happy accident. The evening before I went on to for the first episode filming as a background performer, a friend of mine wanted to practice on someone's head because they wanted to be a stylist. And I just volunteered my hair, and they bleached it. And I showed up with that for the first episode, and the executive producers liked the look. I was actually wearing this jacket. It was my own personal jacket, because I'm like, I had to have something that looks like a New York barista. So, and it's a TV show, it's a comedy. I said, well, this is kind of bright, and I have white hair, and they liked that look. And I had to bleach my hair about every 2 weeks for 10 years. Well, the best thing about working with the other actors on the show were that the chemistry between them and the professionalism was so just almost indescribable. The first episode that I walked on, first season, they seemed like they'd known each other for years. And they already had their characters so well developed for the pilot. And that's unheard of. And it was just a joy to go in every week. Never felt like I was going to work. It was more like going to kind of play with your friends. Favorite memories from the set? Probably the last episode, the last one, where Gunther got to profess his 10-year unrequited love to Rachel by saying that, if you change your mind about Paris, I'll still be here and I love you.
Rachel?
Yeah.
I know you're leaving tonight, but I just have to tell you, I love you.
And of course, Rachel does not love him in the same way, but I believe Gunther got some closure, and he accepted that Rachel did love Gunther. appreciate him as a friend. So Gunther was not friend-zoned anymore, and that was a good thing. Where do I think Gunther would be now? Hopefully Gunther would own Central Perk, and he would have a probably much smaller apartment somewhere in the East Village or West Village than Monica did, and paying a whole lot more rent for it. But he'd be happy. Gunther would be very happy. It's hard to really fathom that it's been 25 years since the show started, and now it's multi-generational fans. I met someone last week who came up and said, "Oh, I love Friends. It's my favorite show ever. It was my grandmother's favorite show. It was my mother's favorite show, and now it's my daughter's favorite show." I can't put it into words. I mean, I think that it's maintained and even increased its popularity with the younger generation because although it's set in the 90s, the storylines and the characters are so rich, and it's a time, they are living a time in people's lives that is kind of universal. It's a time when you do leave your actual parents or your family, and your friends become your support group and your family, and you're all going through these like learning, growing experiences about how to be an adult together. I think everybody can relate to that, but it's humbling and stunning, honestly. It's very surreal.